Hi, my name is Phil Rude, and I'm a cartoonist. I make comics, picture books, illustrated short stories, and random standalone drawings that I think are fun or seem like a good idea at the time. And this is my kickoff video for my 100 days of making comics. If you guys don't know, 100 Days of Making Comics is something kickstarted a few years ago by a cartoonist named Kevin Cross that I highly recommend you go check out. He has 4 or 5 versions of this, 4 or 5 times he's gone through it and documented it all on YouTube. It's really inspiring. It's a way for people to be held accountable to make sure that they sit at the desk for a half hour every day and work on their comic. And that's what I'm trying to do. In the last couple weeks, I have made a point of sitting down and drawing pages every day. So it just seemed like, oh, this is a natural way for me to just kind of, start putting a clock on it. It's a way of holding myself accountable. So I plan on posting videos once, maybe twice a week. I'm not going to make a video for every single day because, quite frankly, there's not a lot to say when you get into the process and the rhythm of it. Just to kind of update you a couple times a week of how the last couple days have gone. You know, am I penciling? Am I thumbnailing? Am I doing post-production work where I'm lettering and things like that, finishing pages? So I just want to keep you updated on the progress as I work on my comic. My comic, by the way, is called The Adventures of Professor Whiskers. I have just launched it on Webtoon, Line Webtoon, and you can read it there as I finish episodes. I'm going to post them there. And I just want to give my thoughts about making comics in general as I go through the process of it. In future videos, I'll get into the specifics of why I'm doing it, but I want to talk real quick about the panel that I'm inking in this video. This is an overhead shot. I wanted an establishing shot of a farm as our characters arrive there. And I wanted to do it this way, even though I knew it was going to be really challenging to me. And this is part of leaning into the challenge of the 100 days of making comics and the challenges that face me as I try to sort of level up as an artist. The overhead shot requires a lot of sort of weird perspective, and I'm not good at perspective as it is, partly because I've tended to shy away from it when it comes up. If something like this would have come up with me, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, I think I would have taken a look at it, said, I want to do this, but it's hard, and just found another way to do it that was easier. And I would have justified it to myself by saying, well, this is easier and quicker and more productive, and I can move on with it. When really I feel like this was the better shot to put into this panel. In just a rundown of this, the perspective, it is imperfect, it's abstracted, and it's weird. And if you want to do the math of, the geography of this, it doesn't add up, but it does give the effect that I wanted, where everything is sort of from above and an angle, sort of fisheye a little bit. It did, in the end of the day, come across fairly well. I'm fairly happy with it. I'm not thrilled with it, but I'm fairly happy with it. But I'm happier that I actually did it, that I didn't make an excuse for myself to find another avenue to get this done. I wanted to lay it out, and I did spend a long time. I spent more time on penciling this one panel than, I could have done an entire page and a half of pencils in this amount of time. And then inking did take longer. I don't have I don't finish it in one sitting, so I don't finish it in this video. But it is something that I'm glad I leaned into. I'm glad I'm challenging myself, not only with the 100 days, because frankly, and I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, to sit down and draw every day is not a huge challenge. It's something I preach and have preached for a long time, that if you want to get better, you have to do it every day. But yeah, the discipline of doing the comic every day, and it sort of heightens my awareness of, don't cop out. Don't sit back and find the easy way. If there's something you want to show in your comic, figure out how to do it and lean in. And that's sort of what I'm doing. And I think this exemplifies, excuse me, stumbling on my words. This exemplifies it more than anything else. So that's about it on this one. Thanks for hanging out and listening to me ramble on about drawing perspective, which is, at the end of the day, a pretty basic art school thing that I still struggle with. If you are doing 100 days, let me hear from you and leave a comment. Let me know how you're doing with it, and what kind of challenges you're leaning into with yours. All right, I will talk to you next time. I'll update again in a few days with some more video of what I'm working on in the meantime. Thanks a lot.